Good afternoon to all the EAPCET aspirants. This is your Prasanna Ma'am from NEET World. So yes, we are done with the chapter Morphology of Flowering Plants, and families are also done. 4 families we have done in the previous class, where Fabaceae, Liliaceae, Solanaceae and Brassicaceae we have dealt in detail. And then we have also solved few of EAPCET previous year questions, and now in continuation to that we are going to solve few more questions. Each type of questions I will tell you how uniquely the questions are being asked. If you consider this is the match the following type of question, wherein 3 columns or 3 lists are given. Identify amongst them easily, ma. This is easy to identify if you know the concept clearly. So here if you see China rose, which belongs to which family? Malvaceae family. Okay. China rose will show what phyllotaxy? Alternate phyllotaxy here. Okay, this shows alternate phyllotaxy. And what type of flower will be there? Superior flower, that is hypogynous. Superior ovary, that is hypogynous flower. And Colocasia, if you consider Colocasia, what modification it has? Underground stem modification, that is COM, which is underground stem modification, right? Underground stem modification, that is COM. Okay. So, Colocasia underground stem modification, it has neuter flowers, fine. Next, panicle. Panicle is nothing but branched racemose type of inflorescence. So, here in panicle, in racemose type of inflorescence, how flowers are arranged? In acropetal succession. Flowers are arranged in acropetal succession, and as it is a branched racemose type of inflorescence, it will be having branched peduncle with many pedicels. And cucumber, if you consider, in cucumber, which is a fleshy fruit, cucumber which is a fleshy fruit, it has what type of mesocarp? Fleshy mesocarp, and it has epigynous flower. Fine, right, ma? So here how you can correlate the options? A, that is China rose, A, China rose, wherein it has alternate phyllotaxy, that is 3, and it has what type of flowers, ma? Hypogynous flowers, that is option 2. And next, if you consider Colocasia, Colocasia has neuter flowers, that is option 4, and it has underground stem modification, that is COM, which is 4 again. Okay. Next, panicle. Panicle has branched racemose inflorescence where flowers are arranged in acropetal succession, and it has branched peduncle. And then cucumber, if you see, ma, cucumber, it has mesocarp which is fleshy mesocarp and epigynous flower, fine, where ovary is inferior. This is the match, this is the correct match the following type of question. Clear? Understood? Yeah. Next, you see, this is the statement based question. I will give you 2 minutes of time, just look into this question, try to answer, and then all of us together will be solving it. You can drop your answers, you can drop your explanations in the chat box. Okay? You can drop your answers and explanations in the chat box. Yeah. Look into each statement clearly, ma, wherein many concepts are involved here, not just leaf modification. Root modification, stem modification, leaf modification, everything is involved. Okay? Yeah. Here we go. Fine. Choose the correct statements. First, whenever statement based question is given, you have to observe whether he is asking you to identify correct set of statements or incorrect set of statements. Statement A, you see, beta, a bud is present in the axil of leaflets of a compound leaf. Yes. In a compound leaf, in the axil of leaflets, bud is present. Yes, statement 1 is true. Casuarina has limited growth for branches as phylloclades. No, Casuarina is for what modification? Cladophyll, not phylloclades. Okay, Casuarina is for cladophyll modification, where branches are of limited growth. In phylloclades, branches are of unlimited growth. So statement 2 is wrong. Subaerial stem of oxalis spreads into new niches when older plant parts die. True. This is subaerial stem modification, which is runner. This is runner type of subaerial stem modification. Stem modification. Clear, right? Next, pericarp and seed coat are fused in Caryopsis. Yes, in Caryopsis what type of fruit beta? Dry indehiscent fruit. Okay, dry indehiscent fruit. In this dry indehiscent fruit of Caryopsis, what happens? Pericarp is fused along with the seed coat. So, here what options are correct? A, C and D. A, C and D. Option B is the right answer. Next, you look into assertion reason type of question. In assertion, sometimes fig fruits are seen with eggs of insects. Yes, fig fruits are seen with the eggs of insects. True. In fig plants, pollination takes place by blastophaga. Correct. So, in assertion, it is explained like how fig fruits are pollinated. In reason, it is clearly explained like which insect is pollinating the fig plant. So, here A and R are true and R is explaining assertion. Okay, how fig plants will be pollinated, that is explained in the reason. So, here what answer you will choose, ma? A. That is A is true and reason is true. Reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Next, you see this question. Find the correct statements for classification of higher organism. Technical terms and variation of parts must be known. True. Technical terms and variation of parts must be known. Roots arising from radicle are called as fibrous roots. Wrong. Okay, because in fibrous root what happens? Radicle is short lived and from the base of the stems many roots will arise. Okay, in fibrous roots what happens? Radicle is short lived. Radicle is short lived and many roots arise from base of the stem. Fine. Next, you see modified bract is called as spathe. This is seen in what type of inflorescence? What type of raceme inflorescence? Modified bract, the bract which completely covers the spikelet type of inflorescence, that is spathe. This is observed in spadix type of inflorescence, spadix type of raceme inflorescence, right, ma? Take down all the explanations, beta, you will not get this elsewhere. Next, in APAC, each flower is surrounded by involucre of bracts. No, each flower is not surrounded by involucre of bracts, because in APAC what type of inflorescence is seen? Umbelliferous type of inflorescence. Umbrella type of inflorescence, wherein at the peduncle, at the tip of the pedicel, at the tip of the peduncle, pedicels will be arising like this, and here involucre of bract will be there. Not in APAC, this is seen in umbelliferous. So, here you see this is umbel type of inflorescence, right? Umbel type of inflorescence seen in umbelliferous family, not in APAC. So, D is wrong and B is wrong. What are the correct statements, ma? A and C are true. So, here we will go with option B. Clear with the explanations? You can take the screenshot of this if you want, beta. Yeah. This you see again assertion reason type of question. In assertion, some plants in nitrogen rich soil can obtain nitrogen from insects. Wrong, because the plants, that is, you can address it like carnivorous plants or insectivorous plants, which will get the nitrogen source from insects. Okay, those are insectivorous plants. Okay, like Nepenthes, okay, Venus flytrap, which get the nutrition, that is nitrogen, from insects. they grow in nitrogen deficient soils, not in nitrogen rich soils. Okay, these plants will grow where? First of all, these plants are called as what? Insectivorous plants, insectivorous or carnivorous plants, insectivorous or carnivorous plants. Okay, they grow in nitrogen deficient soils, nitrogen deficient soils. Fine. Next, in reason, bacteria inhabiting the root system of Fabaceae fix atmospheric nitrogen. Correct. Okay. What bacteria is fixing the nitrogen in Fabaceae members? That is gram negative bacteria, Rhizobium, Rhizobium leguminosarum. Fine. So, here reason is correct and assertion is false, which is option D. Clear, right ma? Clear with this? Yeah. Next, this question you look into ma. Identify the plants by their characters respectively. Okay. First you see axillary buds as tendrils, inferior ovary and mesocarpus edible, he is saying. Axillary bud will turn as tendril and they have inferior ovary, means what type of flower ma? Epigynous. Okay, epigynous flower, and mesocarpus edible, mesocarpus edible. Then this you can consider it as what? Cucumber, because axillary buds turn to tendril. This is a stem tendril modification where axillary buds turn to tendril happens in gourds. Okay, this happens in gourds like cucumber, pumpkin and watermelon. Okay, like cucumber, pumpkin and watermelon. Fine, right beta. So, here epigynous and inferior ovary, mesocarpus edible. So, one you can take the option as C. Okay. Next, a lateral branch of one internodal length with swollen petiole. This is again subaerial stem modification of offset, you will observe, offset. And example for this is what? Pistia and Eichhornia, Pistia and Eichhornia. Fine. So, 2 will be option B. Funnel shaped corolla with dehiscent fruit. Funnel shaped corolla with dehiscent fruit, you can see it as what? Datura. Okay. Basal placentation with condensed peduncle, basal placentation with condensed peduncle, you can see it for Helianthus, that is option A. So, A is 4, B is 2, yeah, B that is Eichhornia. So, A is 4, here we will match it. Okay. A is 4, Eichhornia, a lateral branch of one internodal length, that is 2. Next, cucumber is 1, axillary bud as tendril and epigynous flower, inferior ovary, mesocarpus edible. And datura, if you see, funnel shaped corolla with dehiscent fruit, that is 3. So, what is the right option here ma? Option D is the right answer. So, see, in a single question multiple things are asked, like you should have a clear note on placentation, you should have a clear note on the aerial, subaerial and underground stem modifications, you should have a clear note on the type of fruits as well, and inflorescence is also included. How you will get to know about all this? When you are clear with the families. As in our previous class, we have clearly dealt with the distribution, vegetative characters and floral characters of all the families with the examples. Okay. So, when you know the complete characteristics of a family and the examples of that particular family, then all the characters, be it root modification, stem, leaf modification and types of inflorescence, type of flower, type of gynoecium, what type of placentation in that particular family, everything will be noted. So, first you figure out all the examples of each family, vegetative and floral characters. Then you can clearly note down all this. Fine, right? Yeah. Next, this one. Identify formation of prop roots, stilt roots and pneumatophores, okay, respectively. Prop roots, they grow from branches. Prop roots show what movement beta? They show positive geotrophic movement. Prop roots show positive geotrophic movement. And they hang from branches. Their origin is adventitious type of origin. Fine. So, they just hang from the branches. That is why they are also called as pillar roots. Their main purpose is to give mechanical support to the plant. Next, stilt roots, if you see, stilt roots are observed in what? Maize and sugarcane. Maize and sugarcane. Their main purpose is also to give the mechanical support to the plant, and they are again positively geotrophic. If this is the first node, they will arise from the lower node of the stem. Positive geotrophic movement, their main purpose is to provide the mechanical support, and here stilt roots, they arise from the lower nodes of the stem. So, here this is option B. Next, pneumatophores. Pneumatophores, which are also called as breathing roots or respiratory roots, these are observed in the mangrove plants. Mangrove plants. Many a times questions asked on the breathing roots. You can see other EAPCET previous year questions also, which are mainly asked on the pneumatophores. These are seen in mangrove plants like Rhizophora and Avicennia. Rhizophora and Avicennia. These are the mangrove plants. Okay. So, yes, they grow vertically upwards. So, they are also termed as vertical roots. Vertical roots. Here you can see prop roots and stilt roots, they are positively geotrophic, but pneumatophores are negatively geotrophic and positively phototrophic. Negatively geotrophic and positively phototrophic. So, this they grow vertically upwards, pneumatophores grow vertically upwards. So, for prop roots it is option D, for stilt roots it is option B, and for pneumatophores it is option A. So, it is D, B and A. Option C will be the right answer over here. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this where the complete explanation will be in your hands. Okay. Next question. Here we go, again match the following with multiple columns. Fine, right? Here you see leathery epicarp. Okay, leathery epicarp, you will see it in leathery epicarp, you will see superior ovary, and you will observe this type in the citrus fruits. Citrus fruits, Hesperidium type of fruit. Hesperidium type of fruit, wherein it has leathery epicarp and superior ovary. Yeah, superior ovary with papery mesocarp. Okay. Next, Epocarpus gynoecium. Epocarpus gynoecium is observed in aggregate fruits. Example, chrysanthemum. Okay. Lateral branch of underground stem. Lateral branch of underground stem will show oblique growth. Okay. And here mesocarp will be edible. Next, asparagus, branches of limited growth. What type of stem modification? Cladophylls. So, here A is 3, superior ovary, example is citrus, and it has papery mesocarp, that is 2. Okay. Next, B, Epocarpus gynoecium, observed in aggregate fruits. Okay. These are observed in aggregate fruits, and Chrysanthemum is the example. Okay. So, just a minute. Lateral branch of underground stem, oblique growth, and mesocarp is fleshy. Last one you see D is 2, that is branches of limited growth asparagus of chrysanthemum, D 2 and 1. Okay, here somewhere options are not given in proper, but you take down this D 2 and 1. Cladophyll is the modification. Clear, right, ma? Okay. Next question. Again, multi-column based options match the following type of question. First, you observe parthenocarpic fruits. Parthenocarpic fruit, amongst these fruits, what is parthenocarpic? Banana, right? So, A is for banana, and this shows what type of stem modification, subaerial stem modification, that is sucker. So, A is 4 and 3, right, ma? Next, verticelaster, which is a special type of inflorescence. Verticelaster is observed in Lamiaceae family members, where it first starts as a dicacial sign and then matures to a monocacial sign. So, here B will be 1, and then from column 3 it is option 4, because verticelaster type of inflorescence is observed in Lamiaceae family members. Next, in swampy areas, root grows upwards. Just now we have seen about breathing roots. I told you already, n number of times asked question on breathing root modification. In swampy region, roots grow vertically, and examples Avicennia and Rhizophora. Rhizophora and Avicennia are the examples, right, ma? So, here it is C, roots grow vertically, that is 2, and option 1. Okay. Next, storage of food. Okay. Storage of food is seen in Dioscorea, okay, where food is stored in the vegetative buds and floral buds. If food is stored in the vegetative bud, example is agave. Food stored in the floral bud, example is Dioscorea. Floral bud, example is Dioscorea. Okay, so D is 3, else I will write here. D is 3 and here it is 2. What is the right answer? A 4 and 3, B 1 and 4, C 2 and 1, D 3 and 2. Option B is the right answer. Clear, right, ma? Yeah. Next, here you see how many plants show photosynthetic modifications. Photosynthetic modifications, consider for root, stem and leaf. Any modification it might be, it should be photosynthetic. Okay? Root modification, stem modification and leaf modification. You take 2 minutes of time and try to solve it better, and then we will solve all together. Yeah, here you see Taeniophyllum is photosynthetic root modification, photosynthetic root modification, right? Casuarina, no. In asparagus again you see the petiole is modified for photosynthetic in function. Here it has branches of limited growth where leaves and leaflets are short lived, and here petioles and stems are modified to perform photosynthesis, which is cladophyll modification, aerial stem modification, right, ma? Next, Dioscorea, which is storage modification. Opuntia again, where stem is modified. Okay, stem is fleshy and photosynthetic. Okay, stem is fleshy is modified to fleshy green photosynthetic, which is phylloid type of modification, phylloid type of stem modification. Okay. So, here how many are there? Casuarina also you can take, Casuarina asperagis under Cladophyll, Tinophyllum photosynthetic root modification, Casuarina and asperagis Cladophyll type of modification, Bougainvillea stem thorns, this is storage, hibiscus does not show any modification and chrysanthemum also does not show any modification. So, Opuntia if you take again phylloid where stem is modified to fleshy green and photosynthetic in function. So, here it is option A, that is 4. Okay. Tinophyllum, photosynthetic, cladophylls and this. So, total 4 amongst these are photosynthetic modifications. Note it down clearly ma, you can take screenshot of this and keep it in a separate folder where revision will be easy for you people. Okay. Next question you look into, arrange the plants as examples of diadelphous, epiphyllous and polyadelphous condition. First you tell me diadelphous condition is seen in Fabaceae members, right? Fabaceae members. Okay. Epiphyllous condition is observed in Liliaceae members. Liliaceae members. Fine. Polyadelphous condition is seen in citrus. Polyadelphous, that is cohesion of androecium observed in citrus. The family is Rutaceae. Here you see ma, first is Fabaceae member, that is P. Okay. Here the right answer will be P. Next epiphyllous condition Liliaceae, that is B, lily. Next polyadelphous condition observed in citrus, that is A. Okay. So, here it is A. So, the option is C, B and A. Option B is the right answer, C, B and A. Fine, right? Next question. Here, identify the plant families and arrange them in ascending order. We have to arrange them in ascending order based on numerical numbers, like how many plants are there in a particular family. Based on that, in an ascending order we will arrange. In options if you see, we have Fabaceae, Solanaceae and Liliaceae. Okay. First we will see Fabaceae members. How many of these members are of Fabaceae family? First you see here beta, Phaseolus belongs to Fabaceae and Cajanus cajana belongs to Fabaceae and Deris belongs to Fabaceae again. And then you see next we will look into Solanaceae members, Withania, Atropa, Datura. These 3 are Solanaceae family members and Capsicum and Sistrum are also Solanaceae members. Fine. Next Liliaceae if you see, Smilax, Dracena, Colchicum, these 3 are Liliaceae family members. Ruscus also belongs to Liliaceae. So, here if you see beta, for Fabaceae, how many are there? 1, 2, 3. 3 are the examples which are given under Fabaceae. Under Solanaceae, how many examples are given? Withania, Atropa, Datura, Capsicum and Sistrum. These are the 5 examples under Solanaceae. Okay. And next you see Smilax, Dracena, Colchicum, Ruscus. These 4 are again under the example of 5 under Solanaceae and under Liliaceae it is 4. So, first it will be Fabaceae, for in ascending order he has asked no. So, first it will be Fabaceae followed by Liliaceae followed by Solanaceae. Look at here Fabaceae, Liliaceae and Solanaceae. Option C will be the right answer. Clear, right? Each question will at least take 2 minutes of time. 1 to 2 minutes of time is required for each question. That is the reason each family, its characteristics and examples, if you are thorough with, then you are safe on the note of morphology of flowering plants. Okay. So, I hope this question is clear to you beta. Next you see, which are the modified parts of cladophylls? Cladophyle modified part is what? Branches of limited growth. Simple question, easy type, right? Yeah. Next here you see, match the following list. Hypogynous flower will show superior ovary, of course anyhow have included in this only. Perigynous flower half inferior and half superior ovary. Epigynous completely inferior, gamosepalous means sepals which are united are addressed as what? Gamosepalous condition. Okay. So, this is that match the following table. Next, assertion reason type of question. Here we go, easy only ma. The inflorescence which begins with the dicaseal cyme but turns to one branch at a time forming around the node. Okay. It starts as a dicaseal cyme and turns to monocaseal cyme. Monocaseal cyme. Correct only, no? Verticelaster type. Yeah. In reason, pollination of these plants takes place by the insects called as blastophaga and the entire inflorescence turns to fruit. Wrong. Entire inflorescence turns to fruit in what type of inflorescence? Hypanthodium. Hypanthodium, that is seen in Euphorbiaceae family members. Fine. So, it is not observed in Verticelaster, that is Lamiaceae family members. So, here assertion is true and reason is false. A is true and R is false. Option C. This you see ma, fill in the blank type of question. Try to answer this. Open to all. Try to answer and then we will solve it all together. Look at here first. Dash protects the apex of root. Of course, it is root cap, right? Root cap will protect the apex of the root. Above this dash is present. Above the root cap, proximal to the root cap, if you take the region at the apex thimble like structure, that is root cap is present. Above the root cap or proximal to root cap, what is the region that is present? Meristematic region. Meristematic region is present with thin walled cells and dash helps in elongation and the cells and dense cytoplasm here. Above this meristematic region is present with thin cell walled. Meristematic region has what cells? Thin walled cells and they has dense cytoplasm. These cells differentiate and form what? These cells differentiate and form mature tissue or mature region. Fine. So, here if you see, first it is root cap, that is B, first B, and then meristematic region, that is C, and after that dense cytoplasm, that is A, followed by they will differentiate and they get mature. So, it is option A. Fine, right ma? Option A is the right answer. If you are having any doubt, you can drop the message in the chat box, I will be answering it. Clear? Yeah. Next question. Here you see, sessile unisexual neuter flowers in acropetal succession. Sessile unisexual neuter flowers in acropetal succession you can see in coccus. that is 3. All flowers at the same height by pedicel elongation. At the same height you can see in cymose type of inflorescence, right. You can take the example of jasmine. Okay. Achlamydeous unisexual flowers in a cup observed in Euphorbiaceae members. 3 flowered cymose inflorescence is seen in jasmine. 3 flowered cymose inflorescence is observed in jasmine. All flowers are of the same height. This is corymb type of inflorescence, compound corymb observed in cauliflower. So, here what is the right answer, ma? A is 3, B is 4, yeah, all flowers at the same height. B is 4, it is not given again. A is 3, all flowers at the same height by pedicel elongation, that is cauliflower. B is 4, C. Excuse, Achlamydeous Euphorbiaceae type, that is 1. 3 flowered cymose inflorescence seen in jasmine, that is D is 2. Fine, this will be the right answer. Next question, statement based question again. Look into it. Statement based question. In fig tree, after fertilization, whole inflorescence becomes fruit, correct? Whole inflorescence becomes the fruit here. One seeded schizocarp fruit bit is called as nut. No, one seeded schizocarp fruit, bits of one seeded schizocarp fruit are called as mericarps. They are called as mericarps. In watermelon, terminal bud is modified as tendril. This is the second PYQ that we are solving on the stem tendril type of modification. In stem tendril type of modification, auxiliary bud is turned to guards. Okay. Auxiliary bud is turned to tendril. This you will observe in guards. Guards like cucumber, watermelon and pumpkin. And terminal bud modifies to the tendril. This you will observe in bougainvillea. Fine, right? Next, Tinophyllum has chlorophyllous roots and it is epiphytic. True again. So, here he asked us to identify what, ma? Correct statements. If you see the correct statements, A and D, these are correct. Option B. Fine. Next, pneumatophores are found in the following roots of Rhizophora plant. Pneumatophores, which are breathing roots, they are positively phototrophic, negatively geotrophic. They are called as what? Vertical roots, because they grow above the soil. They arise from the soil. Here you see, match the following type of question. Branches of limited growth modified for photosynthesis. Okay, branches of limited growth modified for photosynthesis. This you can see in Hamelia. The peduncle is branched with one branch each time. This you see in Colocasia. Multicarpullaries in Carpus, unilocular, stony pericarp. Stony pericarp. Plus this you see in Cashew. Placenta is axial and ovules attached to multilocular ovary observed in lemon, okay, which has axial type of placentation. So, here A is 3, B is 4, C is 1, D is 5. Option B is the right answer. Clear, right, ma? Next question. Nothing like you have to remember the examples at any cost. That is the only thing we can do. Choose the correct statements. The tip of embryonic axis emerges first during seed germination is called as rachis. No, it is not rachis, it is called as what? Radicle. It is not rachis. In Atropus integrifolia, that is jackfruit, the fruit type is synchonous and edible part is succulent perianth. No. In Pyrus malis, edible part is false fruit, correct. Pepo fruit is developed from tricarpillary unilocular inferior ovary. So, here A and B are wrong and the right answer is C and D. These two statements are correct. Okay. Next you see ma. Choose the correct statements. Flower is a modified shoot, but internodes do not elongate as axis gets condensed. Yes, axis gets condensed as internodes will not elongate. Next, unisexual, bisexual and neutral flowers are centripetally arranged in compositae. True. In striga, which is a partial parasite, hostorial roots develop up to xylem of the host tissue. True. These are not observed in compositae, it is observed in Euphorbiaceae. Unisexual, bisexual and neutral flowers are centripetally arranged. Here you see next one, the petiole helps expose lamina to the light and gives flexibility. True. So, here as right statements are asked to identify, you can go directly with to C and A. D is also true ma. The petiole helps to expose lamina to light and gives flexibility. D is also true. A, C, D you can consider. Next you see presence of ice on the stem. This you observe in stem tuber, that is Solanum tuberosum. This you observe in what? Stem tuber. Solanum tuberosum. Presence of scaly leaves on the stem is seen in garlic. Okay. Roots originate from the base of the stem and become swollen due to stored food, seen in zingiber. Fleshy leaves storing food is observed in asparagus. Okay. Next, we need to identify the incorrect statements here. Any time the statement based question is asked, you have to first look into whether they are asking you to identify correct set of statements or incorrect set of statements. Here you see, choose incorrect statements he is asking. In rice, pericarp and seed coat are free to protect the seed. No, in rice, pericarp and seed coat are fused. Okay, they are fused, not free. In Rutaceae, juicy placental hair of endocarp is edible. There is nothing called as placental hair. Juicy hairs of endocarp, they are edible. Nothing placental hair there over. Next, Corolla in Ocimum is bilibbed, whereas Datura it is funnel shaped. True. Underground stem modification store food material. Correct. So, as incorrect statements we need to identify, we can go with A and B. Option A. Okay. Assertion reason type of question here. In assertion, tap roots of sweet potato become swollen to perform storage function. Correct. Roots in some plants are modified for storage of food. True. Roots in some plants are modified for storage of food. So, here assertion and reason are true, but in reason it is not completely explaining the assertion. So, here we can go with option B. Look at here, anyhow the match is already given, proper match is already given. Pulvinous leaf base you will observe in Leguminosae members, legumes. Cladophils, asparagus, Cyathium type of inflorescence observed in Euphorbiaceae. Head inflorescence is seen in Tridax. Identify the correct statements. Stamens united into one bunch, not in P. In P you can see diadelphous condition. wherein stamens are united into two bunches. Total 9 stamens as one bunch and one separately the other bunch. Okay, one separately forms into an other bunch. Okay, this is diadelphous condition. Stamens attached to petals epipetalis, this is seen in brinjal, true. Stamens united into more than 2 bundles. Yes, in China rose there are more than 2 bundles, which shows polyadelphous condition. Polyadelphous condition. Stamens are attached to the perianth. Yes, in lily stamens are attached to the perianth. So, here 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4 both are correct, A and D both are correct here, 2, 3, 4. Next, arrange the root tip regions from top to bottom. Top to bottom means we have to start from region of meristema maturation. So, it will be region of maturation followed by region of elongation followed by region of meristematic activity followed by root cap region. Okay. So, here it is 1, 2, 3 and 4, option D, fine. Next question. Anyhow, this is already given, again this question is on fruit types. Cypsilla tridax, schizocarpic fruit acacia, caryopsis rice, composite fruit jackfruit. Okay. Here you see my assertion reason type of question asked in EAPCET 2019. In Calotropis the aestivation is valvate, yes correct. Sepals or petals in a whorl do not just touch but do not overlap, clear, right. So, in reason they have clearly explained you the valvate type of aestivation. So, here A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Indicate the plant whose fibrous roots will swell to store. Asparagus. Okay. Asparagus is the fibrous root which swells to store the food material. Next, here the match, right match is also already given. Musa, Cocos and Colocasia, Sparix, Crotalaria and Mangifera racemose type of inflorescence, Cassia and Cauliflower corymbs, Acheranthus and grasses spike type of inflorescence. Again it is already given. Just remember it carefully. Schizocarpic fruit acacia, false fruit strawberry, parthenocarpic fruit seen in banana, dry fruit for example. Yeah. Now we will solve few questions from Taxonomy of Angiosperms. Yeah. Look at this. Choose the correct pair of plants in order showing the following features. Medicinally important plant and tendrillary climber with unisexual flowers. Yes, this type is seen in Smilax. Spice yielding plant with cymose inflorescence, persistent calyx and unilocular ovary. This is observed in capsicum. So, here the right answer will be what? Option B, Smilax and capsicum. Remember the statements and examples carefully. Next question. Bicollateral vascular bundles are found in. This is a question which is in connection with anatomy as well. This is in connection with anatomy as well. Look into that properly and answer. Bicollateral vascular bundles are observed in Solanaceae members because they are dicots. They belong to the class Dicotyledonous class. Okay. Whereas stems of Liliaceae, which is a monocot, they do not have bicollateral vascular bundles, they have collateral and closed vascular bundles. So, here the right answer will be 1, 2 and 3. Option A is the right answer. Last question of today's session, last questions. See it carefully and answer. Carpels and stamens are in 1:3 ratio in which family? In Brassicaceae, if you see, how many carpels are present? Okay, how many carpels? 2 carpels, right? Carpels and stamens are in 1:3 ratio, he is asking. Look into that answer carefully. Yeah, in Brassicaceae members, if you see, it is bicarpellary, right? And tetradynamous condition of stamens. Tetradynamous condition. So, here it is bicarpellary, which is 2, is to tetradynamous condition, it is 6. So, it is 1:3 here. In Solanaceae, you see again, it has how many carpels? 2 carpels. How many stamens? 5. Andrecium 5, stamens 5, right? Epipetalous condition. There is no possibility of 1:3 ratio. In Fabaceae, if you see, how many carpels are there? Carpels are 1, it is monocarpellary. How many stamens are there? 10. There is no possibility of 1:3 ratio. Liliaceae, if you see, how many carpels are there? It is tricarpellary, 3. Is to how many stamens are there? 6, right? 6 stamens are there, which is epiphyllous. So, here 1:3 ratio is asked, then you have to go with Brassicaceae. If at all 1:2 ratio is asked, then you have to go with Liliaceae. Okay? Interesting question, right? So, this is how you have to look into. If floral formula is in your mind, you can solve this question. If floral formula excuse, is in your mind, you can solve this. Next, medicinal plant. Okay, medicinal plant Solanaceae. In Solanaceae, what is the medicinal plant here? See and answer carefully. Atropa, right ma? Solanaceae, medicinal plant Atropa, option A. There are few more questions from this chapter, Taxonomy of Angiosperms, where we will solve it in the next class. That is all for today's session, students. So, take this class seriously, where each question is explained in detail in a simplified way, which is useful for all of you. Okay, whoever are aspiring to write EAPCET 2026, this session is very useful. So, I would like to end the session by saying you that in our next class, the next set of questions, EAPCET questions from Taxonomy of Angiosperms will be solved with a new chapter, that is Anatomy of Flowering Plants. Okay? Yes, thank you.